Greetings to everyone out there and welcome back to Around the Clock. Alright everybody, during the past couple of days, Shigeru Miyamoto has been conducting a bunch of different interviews with many different outlets because Nintendo plans to open the Nintendo Museum in Japan in just a couple of days on October 2nd. Now, in one of these interviews, he did speak with Famitsu magazine to discuss the future of Nintendo, specifically the Switch 2 and the ongoing quote-unquote console wars between Sony as well as Microsoft. So, without wasting any more of your time, let's get this full rundown which comes from mynintendonews.com. As you can see here, he says, if the goal is to preserve all of Nintendo's past assets so that people can understand what Nintendo is, then it's not just about the employees. We now have people spanning 3 generations who know about Nintendo. It would be great if those people could see it and understand what Nintendo is. I hope that through this, people will understand and refrain from dragging Nintendo into competitions like the so-called console wars, which focus on high specs and hardware performance, and he laughs. Nintendo will continue to use the various technologies available today to create things in a way that's unique to Nintendo. We're not just limited to games. We'll also be involved in films and will continue to create a variety of entertainment content. I thought this would be a good opportunity for people to understand that, and that's why we made this, referring to the Nintendo Museum. I believe the most important thing is for various people to visit this museum and come away thinking Nintendo is a company that's not at all related to the game industry competition or cutting edge technology that people usually talk about. Of course, we conduct technology research. In the past, analysts and others have said things like, why isn't Nintendo focusing on networking, or what about mobile, or why aren't you using cutting edge chips? However, if people commonly look at the exhibits, they'll realize that we've actually been working on those things all along. But Nintendo has a history of waiting for the right moment to release products, only commercializing them when we believe the timing is perfect. I think that becomes clear through the museum, and it helps build trust in Nintendo. For our shareholders as well, this serves as a kind of mid to long-term perspective, showing that they can trust us to manage the company properly. Alright, so everything that Mr. Miyamoto had to say here was very important and very interesting, but there were a few things that did stand out. For one, he said that when this next console releases, the Switch 2, that he hopes that people don't try to drag Nintendo into this whole console war thing, comparing the specs of this console, the brand new one, to the current Switch that's out in the market. Of course, the PS5, the Xbox consoles, what have you. Although, he can't stop that because people are already doing that with these quote-unquote leaked specs that we don't know are for sure or not. So, hey man, it's going to happen regardless. And he said that because with Nintendo, it's not all about these high-end specs when it comes to the technology or their consoles. It's about the unique experience that they can give the fans. And if you've seen throughout the years, yes, Nintendo has been keeping up as far as specs are concerned. They're not always the highest specs when it comes to their consoles, but what really sells Nintendo consoles is their games, and those games do create unique experiences for the fans. So, hey man, he's on point with what he's saying here. He also says that Nintendo's not just a gaming company. They're getting involved in many different aspects as far as filming, other different forms of content. They have the Nintendo Museum coming out October 2nd. You also have Super Nintendo World with a new location opening up in Orlando, Florida next year. So Nintendo has been doing some big things in the past years, which shows that, hey, Nintendo is not just a video game company. They're an all-around entertainment company, and to be honest, I don't think that these other companies can do that, and I'm referring to Sony and Microsoft specifically. Now, I know a lot of people won't like what I just had to say there because they're going to say that I'm a fanboy, but I'm really not. I'm just speaking facts, and sometimes the truth just hurts. Now, he also said 2 other things that were key as well. For one, he said that Nintendo has a history of waiting for the right moment to release products, only commercializing them when we believe the timing is perfect, and that is very true. Nintendo, is never the first to do certain things, although they are the first to do certain things. For example, when Nintendo made the whole analog stick, other companies copied them. When Nintendo did the whole motion control thing with the Wii as well as the Wii U, other companies copied them as well. And now with the Switch being a mobile as well as a home console too, you see other companies coming out with their mobile devices as well. So yeah, man, Nintendo are some trendsetters, and it shows throughout the years. Now, one last thing that he said in this interview that really stood out was about the shareholders and about the trust in Nintendo with this whole Nintendo Museum thing, because This is something new for Nintendo, having a museum, and this ties into what he had to say earlier about Nintendo being a multifaceted company and not just being a video game company. They're also involved in films, various other forms of entertainment. You also have the Nintendo Museum opening up, the Super Nintendo World that has various locations all around the world, and whatever else Nintendo has up their sleeve. So to the investors and shareholders, that shows that Nintendo is not just taking their money and sitting on it and just investing in video games. No, they're taking this money, investing in the company so that they can expand in various different areas, so that in turn, these investors and shareholders can see that their money is being put to good use. So yeah, man, I enjoyed everything that Mr. Miyamoto had to say here, and I want to know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Also, make sure to like this video, share this video, and for all of you watching this video right now that are not already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you don't miss out on daily Nintendo news content. And as always, remember to keep it locked here at Around the Clock, where here we focus on Nintendo news content around the clock. I'll catch you guys in the next video.